Thanks for joining us. We're here with Dr. Steve Doblin, Provost and Vice President of Academic Affairs at Lamar University, to talk to us today about service learning. Welcome to Cardinal Views, Dr. Doblin.
Thank you for asking me to be here. It's my pleasure.
So, Dr. Doblin, what exactly is service learning?
Well, let me tell you, first of all, what service learning is not. Service learning is not volunteerism. That is, serving food to the needy in a soup kitchen, or putting together packets of food for distribution in a food bank, or ringing the bell for the Salvation Army during Christmas time, or even reading to at-risk kids in an after-school program. Those are all worthy, important things, but they're not service learning. Service learning is serving others in ways that draw upon and enhance a student's learning, whether it be in a classroom setting, which is the most common way of doing it, or in a broader context, in a single individual student or in groups. And the fundamental part of it is at the conception, during the activity, and after it has taken place, there's a faculty member to tie things together and sort of guide the learning.
So what exactly does the university do to encourage the faculty to participate in this service learning?
Well, in most areas, the university doesn't have to do any encouragement because it's a fundamental part of the discipline. We have many faculty members, nursing and engineering come to mind, who have been doing service learning, but just not calling it that, for many, many years. Also, students who have a good experience in one class in a service learning environment will talk to their professors in other classes saying, why can't we do this? Also, most national meetings or even regional meetings of disciplines usually have sections on service learning and how to incorporate service learning in your degree program or in your individual courses, regardless of what your discipline is. If you Google service learning, you'll get a pot full of hits, to include the National Service Learning Clearinghouse and International Partnership for Service Learning, among many other hits. So this is something that is not, of course, just at Lamar University, and it didn't just start, it's nationwide. Also, I have funding that I provide to students and their faculty mentors, whether it be undergraduate research or service learning, to travel, to make presentations, for supplies, and things like that. So there are a lot of ways that service learning is encouraged, but most of it is student to student, faculty to faculty, and of course we have a variety of programs that encourage students to serve other people through the academic process. It's not isolated even to individual courses. It's sort of university-wide.
Is service learning something that students of any major can participate in?
Absolutely, although it's easier, less difficult in some disciplines than others. But for example, my discipline, mathematics, a good example would be students who are preparing to be math teachers, and they're taking a math methods course that helps them learn how to teach math concepts to children. Well, typical service learning project is taking those students either individually or in groups and letting them teach, tutor at-risk kids in an after-school program or even during the school day with their university teacher there guiding them and helping them synthesize all this learning. Another example is political science, which you might not think was ripe for service learning activities, but we've had students who are taking a course in local governments actually do surveys for city government, surveying the populace to find out what the funding of what services are most important to them.
So I guess, in other words, student learning is also a way for students to benefit as well as people in the community?
Absolutely. That's the essence of service learning.
And why should students take time out for service learning?
Service learning is an example of what many people term high impact activities. Some other examples are learning communities, which Lamar has, study abroad, internships. There is, in these types of activities, there is interaction with peers and faculty members that is much more substantive in a lot of ways than what happens in the classroom setting. In addition, when you're participating in service learning with your peers, with members of the community, you are interacting with people who are quite often fundamentally different than you are. And feeling comfortable with and helping people like that are different than you are is a important measure of intellectual maturity that, again, is developed with these types of activities. Participating in a service learning activity results in more frequent and perhaps more in-depth feedback from faculty member to student than might occur in a classroom setting. It's a tremendous example of both reflective and integrative learning, and perhaps most important of all, it's a way for students to discover the relevance of learning through real-world applications and making a difference in other people's lives. Most of the research shows that students who are engaged with their peers, engaged with the university, engaged with helping others, are much more likely to persevere to a degree. And of course, that's the ultimate goal of education, is to graduate and have the tools to make a difference in the world.
Would you say that service learning is also just another way for students to get a chance to have hands-on experience in their degree fields?
Yes, but it's more than that. There are many ways to have hands-on experience, which is critical, but it's a way to get hands-on experience and to learn while you serve others, hence the term service learning.
Thank you again for all of your great information, Dr. Doblin. Now we have a few other stories of how students all across Lamar University are incorporating service into their studies.